I've been using this for a while now and have printed some models. How is the user experience and how are the printing results? In this video, I'll share my real feelings about using it during this period, starting with the unboxing to see what's inside. The box is very small. Inside there is a cleaning needle and a manual, a sticker, a warranty card, screws and wrench for installation, a roll of test material and nozzle accessories. Assisting a wrench. This is the main control screen, a power cord, a metal tray bracket. This is the metal portal frame. The extruder's X and Z axes are pre-installed. Finally, it's the main body of the printer. The printing platform comes pre-assembled and the main frame is made of metal, so it's quite heavy. The assembly is very simple. Just place the gantry here. Just like that, the lengths and models are labeled on the screw packaging bag. The manual tells you which screw to use, just find that screw. You can lay the machine down first. Screw the screws into these holes to fix the base and gantry together. It's 4 foot pads, a thick rubber. After securing, place the machine properly facing this way and then use screws to fasten it. Next, install the hopper bracket onto the gantry frame. Then, fix the control screen to the side of the main body and plug the ribbon cable into the socket under the control screen. After installation, the control screen can be detached from the stand for our convenience. After getting the machine, we first manually check the smoothness of the Z-axis, the smoothness of the X-axis and the Y-axis. Pay attention to removing the 2 sponges placed under the Y-axis platform. Checking each axis for smooth operation without anomalies is sufficient. Then insert the thickest ribbon cable into the release machine. Take out this small card from the packaging and screw it into the machine. Use it to secure the ribbon cable and then look at the back of the machine. There's a slot here. It's for clamping down this ribbon cable. Just push the cable in and adjust it to the right length, usually right at the cable's marking. Then plug in the X-axis motor wire like this. After plugging it in, be sure to check the length of the wire. It shouldn't be too short or too long to ensure proper connection. The motor wire at the bottom of the fuselage connects to the Z-axis motor by just pushing it in. Be careful, don't get scratched by the platform. This is the machine in its assembled state. I think it's one of the better looking designs in the i3 structure. As you can see, this structure saves space. Its maximum printing dimension is 2120 by 220 by 250 millimeters. The outer shaft consists of 2 metal smooth rods which slide quite smoothly. The printing platform is made of metal spring steel plate, but only one side is usable. The platform below should allow for manual frequency adjustment. You can try adjusting the frequency manually before relying on the machine's automatic frequency adjustment. To achieve a nearly perfect state, the official maximum temperature for the hotbed is 100 degrees Celsius. The Y-axis is belt driven and the belt's tension is adjustable. Now looking at the X-axis, it's also belt driven with adjustable tension. It can print PLA, PG, and the elastic TPU, which is most commonly used in our model aircraft racing drones. The standard configuration for the printer is a 0.4mm nozzle with a temperature limit of up to 260 degrees Celsius. According to the promotions, this extruder's feeding and retraction are all automatic and very smooth. I'll do a live test in a moment to show everyone. Looking at the back of the machine, it has a single electro dual Z-axis design with 2 metal threaded rods and the top is a metal rod. There are synchronous wheels which makes it more stable than a dry Z-axis. Here you can see the Z-axis carriage is the same as the X-axis, both are rubber rollers. Looking at the side, here is the X-axis belt tension adjustment and this screen is designed to be quick detachable. However, due to space limitations, it can't be moved too far. Alright, the hardware installation of this printer is basically done. Then, take out the printing material, PLA filament. Look at these rainbow colors. First, let's print something to see how it turns out. Then hang the filament on the top bracket. Cut a slant at the end, makes it easier to insert. Hold this wrench to install the consumable into this extruder. It really fits well. I'll not auto-load the consumable, letting the machine auto-level first. This screen is not touch sensitive. Movement and rotation are controlled by a knob. On the screen, find the option for tuning the frequency, tap it once, and then leave it alone. It will proceed through these 3 steps automatically. Though the process is slow, we don't have to pay attention to it at all. It's quite worry-free here. I fast forward it so you can see it records on the screen after each adjustment. From this point, we can gauge the level of flatness of the platform. After leveling, these are the numbers for my machine. For me, it's okay. If you're aiming for perfection, you can do it yourself manually. Adjust it, then I'll try the automatic retraction process. It's slow because the nozzle needs to be heated. Here I sped up the video. It first squeezes out a lump, then proceeds to retract. The retraction is quite successful. Then set up automatic feeding and follow the screen's instructions. Also feature an automatic heating spray head that activates upon detecting new materials on the ground, making it ready to use. Now we can start the official print. First, let's print an internal test model. Here we can see the print time, temperature, and so on. Let everyone listen to the sound of printing. I feel the noise primarily comes from the fan. This test model took 1 hour and 8 minutes to print, but let's also show everyone how easy it is to clean the hair inside the ears with your hands. These lines should be fuzz. This area is flat. Here we can observe the layer patterns from various angles to show everyone. Of course, printing just one isn't enough. Continuing, Creality has its own ecosystem. We can access Creality through a computer web page. Moreover, there's also a mobile app that can be used to find designs for printing. Creality also has its own slicing software. You can find the installation package on the randomly provided USB drive or on the official website. After installation, we add the default parameters for this V3SE printer and then proceed to the installation process. Save the file to the storage cart, then insert it into the printer here, and you can print. However, I found that this printer seems to have only this one port. It doesn't have a USB port, so we can only insert this type of storage card. Moreover, the file must be in the root directory of the storage card, not in Chinese, and cannot exceed 20 characters, otherwise there will be reading problems. First up, a very handsome Azure Dragon, print scale unchanged, quality at 0.2, speed constant. Most settings are default, but I was worried about the nozzle hitting and breaking the model due to its height, so I enabled a 0.2mm lift in the Z-axis during retraction. Also, I removed the skirt edge, started printing this model without needing support. I began printing before going to sleep at night, and by early morning the next day, I had already left. All day, I was still panicking. I was afraid of closing time. Wait until the next afternoon to see the print outcome result. This is a successful experiment. The rainbow silk material turned out pretty good, and this dragon's quite large. Now, I haven't done any post-processing. You can see there are some flaws here. I snapped this part off, and there were some fuzzies I cleaned up by hand. After cleaning, let me give you a close-up view from all angles. This is a layer height of 0.2. Let's observe the layer pattern details together. Let's look at the auspicious clouds at the bottom. This one has a tail, dragon scales, claws, and even the dragon's head, eyes and mouth. And these shoulders, for me personally, I'm rather surprised. It usually fails around here, easily blocked by the print head. Mine was a success. And these shoulders, I can touch them lightly, no problem. But I don't dare to apply too much force because after nearly 19 hours of printing, I'd rather not take the risk. Let's print a joint, movable little octopus next. This time, we remove the group coating with the default parameter of ultrafine detail of 0.1 layer height, expecting 3 hours and 39 minutes. Starting to print, let's see what's actually needed for the printing. It took 3 hours and 21 minutes. This one's stuck on pretty firmly, and it's not easy to remove. It is made in one piece, ready to play right out of the printer. It makes a nice toy for children. Let's take a look. I made a mistake in setting this seam. It should have been set to the back of the head to look better. Take a close look at this claw. Some paws have good joints, pretty nice, but some paws seem to be misaligned. As you can see, it's quite obvious. Although it does not affect movement, it is prone to breaking. I'm not sure if it's a problem with the design or the settings. There's a hole under this head that can be propped up with a finger. Let's continue. Next we'll print a Yasuo scale key, this time with a 0.2 layer height, using the default settings. Previously when I printed the scale key, I would set the horizontal expansion here. This time I won't make any adjustments. Let's see what happens without any settings. Speed is set to default, no need for support here. Change the retraction minimum to 0mm. This setting is crucial, and so is removing the skirt. Otherwise the first layer would all stick together. The print is estimated to be start printing at 11.5 hours. Finish printing, it took 11 hours in total, but it was tough and didn't stick together. Success. Flick it. It's a bit short. It might be because I didn't set the whole compensation, or there's some setting issue, but this way it's less likely to be thrown out. Let's take a closer look at the details. I feel it's quite decent. Let me give you a close-up tour from various angles to see the print quality. It could be that I haven't calibrated it well, haven't set the parameters properly. Okay, this is the effect of the expansion key. Lastly, testing the most commonly used TPU, consumable, for racing drones. This material is very tough and explosion proof. I'm printing a drone camera creation. For TPU, the parameters must be significantly altered. Adjust the temperature to the recommended value for your material. increase the retraction distance when switching layers, and remove the brim, the printing speed has decreased, which I generally find difficult. Something like 25 to 50. Then I manually add some supports, which I think are necessary. It depends on your experience. Estimated printing time is 2 hours and 22 minutes. Start printing. The print is done. Take it down. Currently, it seems like there's a lot of layer lines and the support is quite dense. Now I'm going to remove the support and show everyone the effect. The support has the most striations. I guess it's because the parameters were not set well, for example. The temperature of the pullback, among others. Since TPU is quite soft, it's recommended to print a test model first to adjust the right parameters before printing. Don't do like I did, just changing the default settings blindly and start printing because I was pressed for time. It's not wrong to do so, but looking at these filaments, they're easy to clean. I can pull them off by hand, and now looking at it, the cleaned result is quite good. Now you can see there are horizontal stripes on the surface because the material is transparent. What we actually see is that the inside support is actually flat, and you can tell from the side that it is smooth. Then look at these holes with added support. TPU material is very durable. We usually just stuff the camera in and hang it on the plane for aerial photography with a printer. We can also make our own food and clothing. Buying someone else's camera like this costs a lot, really expensive. Alright, I've been using this machine for a while now, so let me quickly summarize. This machine is positioned for beginners, easy to get started without the hassle, automatic prohibition, automatic participation, shun frequency, print PLA, TPU, it's all good. I'm personally satisfied with the print quality and the print size is also acceptable. It moves quietly, but the fan is quite loud. I feel that there are too few external interfaces. Only this card can be used to import models. No USB for reference. Next is its firmware. I asked the official tech, and it's Marlin firmware. Its maximum printing speed is 250 with a maximum acceleration of 2,500. Then there seems to be a common issue with the i3 structure, with the wheel showing some wear after prolonged use. In summary, if you're on a tight budget and want a hassle-free start, if you're thinking of printing in bigger sizes, this should be a good starting point. These are all my personal feelings from using it so far. What do you think about this machine? Everyone is welcome to add to the discussion. See you in our next video.